Hello everyone, colleagues, my name is Vitalia. Today I am going to tell you all about the MATHBOT project, specifically focusing on the significant pension project that our company meticulously developed in close collaboration with a prominent investment fund. So this video might be a little long. I apologize in advance, but believe me, if you stick with these 20 to 25 minutes, however long the video will be, you will learn a lot for yourself and you'll understand how, with a small investment of $3,000, you can make $1 million in just 15 years by using compound interest. We use this algorithm for accumulating a pension. We've called it a strategy for building up a pension or for saving for your children's future, so that they can grow up in a world better than ours. So, friends, this video will consist of two parts. In the first part, I'll explain the theoretical side of this strategy and how an ordinary investor, a regular person, can use it. And in the second part, I'll tell you and show you basically how MATHBOT works on a real account. Now, let's not waste any time and get started right away. Okay, so this presentation will be in a question and answer format. I'll try to show you exactly what MATHBOT does, and I'll answer absolutely all the questions we've received recently. As I mentioned, the goal here is to save up $1 million or more for retirement. This is my personal goal, and I'm showing you by my own example, because as a father, a family man, and as someone who's already 36 years old, I've been thinking about this quite seriously, because I want to be able to retire peacefully at 50 and enjoy life. And accordingly, that's my goal. The desire to retire early for a peaceful life and to create a future for my children led to the fact that, together with a group of traders, mathematicians, and investment funds, we created this product. A few words about our company. There are two companies. The first company is MATHBOT. MATHBOT is a specialized company that meticulously develops advanced and sophisticated trading algorithms for a diverse range of clients, including discerning private investors, prominent institutional traders, and even everyday regular individual traders. In other words, we also diligently create innovative and powerful algorithms that are specifically designed to genuinely help simplify the complex and demanding daily operational work of all types of dedicated traders. Accordingly, our algorithms, we also offer them for testing in the future to anyone interested, so that anyone can test, try, and understand just how innovative this algorithm is. Our second area is the company TradeSphere Lab. Here we teach professional trading, both technical and fundamental. A few words about myself. As I mentioned, my name is Vitalis Kimbaitor. I'm a professional trader, investor, and developer of trading algorithms. I'm also a family man. I have a wife and 2 children. At the same time, I think this is the happiest and best part that can happen in anyone's life. I'm also one of the founders of MATHBOT Expert Advisor and TradeSphere Lab. In the past, I also participated in the creation of several crypto projects and several crypto platforms. I also have experience working at an Italian hedge fund, where I worked for about a year, but I decided to leave because I wanted to create my own algorithms. All the experience I gained at the hedge fund, all the knowledge I acquired through daily work, I have incorporated into the logic of MATHBOT. If we talk simply and answer the question, what is MATHBOT and how can it be useful for ordinary investors, private investors, traders, or even institutional traders? The answer is simple. MATHBOT is an algorithm, and it mainly operates in a way that makes it universal. But the best results we have been able to achieve have come from working in the gold market. That is, by working with gold, we have obtained the best results. Gold has also been the most reliable asset for probably thousands of years now. And gold has proven itself to be arguably the most reliable asset from various perspectives. Just as gold performs well during times of crisis, it also does well during periods of relative calm. But since we are currently living in turbulent times, gold is a very good instrument. It's a great asset to work with, and MATHBOT is perfectly suited for this. To also answer the question of what MATHBOT is, I want to say that MATHBOT is an algorithm based on mathematics and statistics. Ordinary traders, or rather many traders, use technical or fundamental analysis to make their decisions. We, on the other hand, decided to move away from technical and fundamental analysis and use pure mathematics and pure statistics because together with a team of mathematicians, we discovered a certain pattern in the gold market. And this pattern has been repeating itself for several decades now. This pattern lies in the fact that gold behaves in the same way and in cycles. In other words, the pattern that we were able to develop, discover, and turn into a mathematical formula later, we patented this algorithm. So at this point, it is patented and anyone interested can test and try it out. But let me show you a simple example of what MATHBOT is and how you can work with it. To put it simply, MATHBOT has two main functions. The first function is short-term trading. For example, let's say you have a capital of 10,000. We set up MATHBOT for this capital and the algorithm trades on its own. That is, it operates 100% algorithmically without any intervention from traders. It's very important to note that when we tested this algorithm, we've been testing it since 2006. Up to the present day, the results have been very, very interesting. Later on, I'll show you what results we've achieved and how these results can be useful for you as well. So the first function of MATHBOT is that it generates a certain income every month. This income isn't as large as some might expect, but it has been consistently generated for 20 years now, from 3 to 7%. That's the first format in which MATHBOT operates. For example, if you deposit 10,000 this month, by the end of the month, the average income will be about 5%. So for simplicity, I say from 3 to 7. I always say 5%, so we don't complicate things instead. We simplify the whole process to 5%. You can withdraw 5% from your deposit every month and you'll always have your 10,000 left. That's the first format, in other words. This is what we offer traders for daily trading and daily earnings. But there's a second format that we came up with, also using the same MATHBOT. For example, we invest $10,000. And here, a slightly different logic is used. But even with this different logic, our profit is between 3 and 4% per month. For simplicity, I'll talk in terms of trimesters. So in one trimester, we earn about 10%. These 10% per trimester are then added on top of the existing amount. MATHBOT, for example, let's take the principle of $10,000. With a 10% profit per trimester, in the next trimester, you'll already have $11,000. You also earn 10% on the $11,000. So after another trimester, you'll have $12,100 in your account. So this is the concept of compound interest in action. In this case, we're using compound interest as a factor that allows you to grow your capital faster. At one point, I asked myself, for example, I want to set aside some capital for my children's future. And I thought, okay, how much do I need to save each month so that by the end, say in 15 years, I have $1 million? So the logic is simple. I need to set aside about 500 euros, maybe more, maybe less, into various types of assets. But I have to do this every month, every single month, set money aside. Accordingly, this led me to another question. If we've created an algorithm like MATHBOT, why do I need to save every month if I can just deposit a lump sum once? Whether it's a substantial sum of 500 or an even more significant amount of 5,000, it truly doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, and I will consistently be earning income passively. From the consistent interest on this passive income that I receive, I will be continually accumulating additional interest on top of the existing interest. That's the core logic behind MATHBOT. The most important, the most crucial thing that I aim to bring to life. Let's now find out precisely how much money we would actually earn if the initial financial deposit is exactly $3 0.000, and we invest at a consistent 10% interest rate per quarter over a substantial period of 15 years. Let's ask ChatGPT because it will calculate everything for us very quickly. So with simple calculations, in 15 years, our capital would be almost $1 million. That's what I want. But if we invest, instead of a mere $3,000, let's consider a more substantial figure, perhaps $10,000. In that scenario, our projected outcome would be a remarkable sum of approximately $3 million, a truly significant financial result. Now, it seems to me that the logic of MATHBOT, specifically the retirement strategy, has become clearer to you. So MATHBOT is a universal tool. And we've created a website for it where you can find absolutely all the information about who we are and what we do. But probably the most important part is this section in MATHBOT. You find all the information about how MATHBOT works. And here you find a complete video explaining the basic principle of MATHBOT, how it works, what it does, and so on. All the information will be here in this video and in this section. There are also different languages available here, including German, which you can easily translate. Thank you. And find out all the information. Now, how does the pension system work? As I already told you, here the main question is about the percentage, about compound interest that accumulates. The logic remains exactly the same. That is, if we add the compound interest earned each month and the bot works with it, it does all of this automatically. So you don't need to do this yourself. In the next slides, I'll show how this works and basically how you can earn money this way. This way, you start accumulating your capital and you don't need to invest a large amount of money. Even a small amount of money is enough here for you to achieve the result you are aiming for in the long run. How much does MATHBOT earn approximately? As I already mentioned, if we're talking about a pension structure, we estimate about 10% per quarter. It can be more, it can be less. The profit also depends on your level of risk tolerance. We'll talk about that as well. Right now, I'll show you the screen and you'll be able to see it with your own eyes. Are there real accounts that work with MATHBOT? Yes, there are, and I'm going to show them to you now. All our information is completely public. Anyone who visits the MATHBOT website can find all the information there. First of all, you can request a demo version. I'll show you how to do that in the next slides. But you can also view the report, meaning the MATHBOT report for the entire period. You just need to click on report. First of all, here is our intellectual property certificate, which we display because it's our pride and joy, something we've worked towards for a long time and are very proud of. We also have a company presentation available in any language explaining how MATHBOT works and who the founders of the company are. Why did we choose gold specifically and what results have been achieved? Here you can also find answers to many different questions, which you can learn about as well, but I want to show you our trading history. We started in 2008, and these percentages are nothing other than the profit or gains we achieved in each year. So to view the full report, you just need to double click here, download the file and open it in your browser. When you open this file in your browser, you'll see a report like this. Here you can see the period. For example, from 2008 to 2009, when we were testing, you can see how we started with a deposit of $10,000. The total net profit is $88,300, which is 83%. Now, let's talk about risks. In this case, the risks are related to balance drawdown. What is balance drawdown? There are situations when your deposit can go into a certain loss or drawdown. In this case, the maximum drawdown was 31%. But for some people, 31% might be a lot, while for others, it might be acceptable. So the profit depends on your tolerance for drawdown. So if you don't mind having a drawdown of 30% or even 40%, you will be making money 6 to 7% per month. If you say that you don't want your capital to be in a drawdown of more than 20%, then accordingly your profit will be around 3 to 4%. That's where the risks come from. So if you want to earn 15% per month, which I do not recommend, you will have a very high drawdown and may find yourself in unpleasant situations. Accordingly, during the personal webinar that you will have with our expert, they will provide you with more detailed information and, if needed, answer any additional questions you may have. The next thing you can find on our website, of course, and perhaps the most interesting, is the ability to watch the bot working in real time. The trading bot, all you need to do is click on this link and you will be able to see some of our accounts. These are real accounts with real money that have already been on the market. Some of them have been running for more than 50 weeks, for example. There are accounts at 48 weeks, 47 weeks, 50 weeks, 27 weeks, and the longest one at 58 weeks. So what does this mean? It means that anyone interested can come here. And you can see in real time what the drawdown is, what the profit is, what the starting deposit was, and what withdrawals have been made on this account. And of course, how much the account has earned since the beginning of 2024 as well. Here you can see the growth curve, that is the equity, how your deposit has grown. And these drawdowns that you see here, this drawdown, exactly the drawdown we were talking about. Because here, our maximum drawdown reached 31%. But some people like this and some people don't. Accordingly, you can adjust this drawdown yourself when you connect the bot. You can also view this in real time here. How much the bot has earned in 2024, broken down by each month separately. How much it has earned in 2025, each month individually. And it's important to understand that this algorithm is fully automated and you don't need to do anything at all. Because our company will monitor your account and always keep a close eye on things. How can you test MATHBOT? Testing MATHBOT is very simple. All you need to do is contact us. We will set up a Zoom call with you where our expert will provide you with all the information on how to connect MATHBOT. And set aside 30 minutes of your free time, because for the test, all you need is a demo account, that is a virtual account. And we will connect the bot to this virtual account. After that, you'll be able to observe it and analyze its performance. After the trial period, which can be 30, 40, or even 50 days, however long you need, you can then decide whether you want to work with a smart bot or not. What is the minimum capital required to work with the smart bot and implement this strategy? The minimum capital is $3,000. If you want to trade aggressively, then of course $2,000 will be a bit too little, but it would be an aggressive approach. I personally recommend working with at least $3,000. Also, if you're using this strategy for the long term, even as a kind of retirement strategy, I don't really see the point in leaving a large sum. I also don't see any point in having more than $10,000. If you want to work with larger amounts, then most likely a standard system would be more beneficial for you, where, for example, you withdraw profits every month. In that case, you can use a larger sum, $100,000, $200,000, or even more. Can you deposit or withdraw funds from your account? Yes, you have absolutely no obligations. The account is entirely at your disposal. You don't transfer money to us. The funds always remain with you. And you are the owner of your account. We only connect the algorithm to your trading account, which stays with you. Accordingly, you are the full owner of your account, and only you decide whether to withdraw money, add funds, or stop the bot. In this regard, you are completely free. What are the risks and what guarantees are there? I want to start with guarantees. My friends, in case anyone doesn't know, no financial institution gives guarantees. The only ones who provide guarantees are banks, because banks pay you 1% per year, maybe 2% per year, and accordingly, inflation eats away at your funds. That's why no institution ever gives guarantees. What we do guarantee is the operability of the algorithm. That is, every day we monitor what the algorithm is doing, and in case of any unforeseen situations, our technicians are always ready to quickly fix the issue. So you do get a guarantee on the algorithm. As for the risks, as I've already mentioned, the risk lies in the drawdown. So if you want to work with higher risks and at the same time earn 10, 12, or even 15% per month, you'll have a large drawdown. And psychologically, not everyone is comfortable with that, but yes, it's entirely up to each individual. We will always advise you to remain more conservative in the market because in the long run, a conservative approach has shown the best results. We've done backtests starting from 2008 and even from 2006. And over that period, about 5% per month is the optimal parameter that delivers results with the best drawdown. That's exactly what we'll be recommending to you. What do you need to test MATHBOT? It's very simple. Just write to us. You don't even need a computer. Why? Because you'll be using a VPS, a virtual private server. In other words, it's essentially a remote computer. Our technician will explain in more detail. They'll tell you what a VPS is and how to use it. There's nothing complicated about it. It's all very simple. This VPS basically replaces your computer. It's a cloud computer, let's just call it that for simplicity. Here's an example of a VPS that we have. For instance, we have a list of clients here, and let's say I need to log into this particular client and see what's going on. And here I can see the status of their account, what the situation is, the history, and how this algorithm is working. So you can see for yourself the results produced by MATHBOT, but in reality, but in fact, you can actually see them directly and conveniently on our official website. So for more comprehensive and detailed information, dear colleagues, please do not hesitate to visit our official site at your earliest convenience, MATHBOT Pro. Now, in the second part, I'll show you a more technical side. How does MATHBOT work on real accounts? So if you're interested, write to our Telegram support. We'll answer all your questions. And now let's move on to the technical part. Here you can see how MATHBOT, when it closes these stones, starts to place orders. I'll show you the chart. We're waiting until it moves to the 15th of January or after the holidays. There it started. You can see that the positions, it opens, it also closes. Almost all trades are closed within the day. Let's repeat quickly. And here you can see how it opens positions and carries out its operations. Here's the history, and in the history you can see the entire process. So this is the logic behind it and how it works. And most importantly, MATHBOT doesn't care about the market direction because it works very well. In a sideways market, just as it's not afraid of black swan events like those in 2020, and now we're simply going through black swans. And all of this is working very well. It consistently worked effectively even throughout extended periods of profound indecision and uncertainty, or during times when there were truly very significant and impactful geopolitical events unfolding across the globe. So this is the logic behind us. First to the logarithm and PL during the session demand, and subscribe to our support. Bye!